Yeah. You already know what time it is, man. Don't think God done changed up, man. Still crunk guy. At all. Hey.
I come
If thou not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
right, if you don't listen to what the Most High says,
to observe to do all his commandments,
right, go ahead,
and his statutes,
right,
which I command thee this day,
read,
that all these curses shall come upon thee. Curses shall come upon thee.
That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. 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 I come in shalom not to fight, 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 boy. Do the commandments of right, 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 boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy.
I pray to my heavenly Abba, Ahaya, Yahuwah, Salaya. Strap with the Bible, these verses are hollow, so fire will leave my esophagus. No Afro-American Hebrew carried his back with biblical documents. Our identity hidden the obvious, but the world is restricting your optical. If you read Deuteronomy 28 chapter, then maybe you see that it's logical. What they call Christianity stem from the Vatican, filled it with pagan idolatry. My fringes, they border my waistline. My ribbon is blue or it's violet. They say that I step on phalanges. I tell them to whip out the violence. I'm Judah, a lion. I eat what my lion is. Is it him or the Ruach inside of him? Is America Gomorrah, Sodom, or the mystery Babylon? Probably. It's the New Egypt. Check out the obelisk. Pyramids on the back of the dollar bill. Bet our history deeper than cotton fields, but they tell me forget about the cotton field. Funny how the new joke in the whip gone. Now the judge pin get his whip on. Yo, black queens in the projects, black kings in the prison. That was still in the slave trade. Just switched up the system. Get back to commandments. Only way we gon' get home.
I come to fight, boy. Don't follow nothing but Christ, boy. Try my best to do right, boy. I'm turned cause I found the light, boy. In the midst of all the lies, boy. Do the commandments of right, boy. I'm trying to hustle your life, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy.
That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. I come in shalom not to fight, 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 boy. Do the commandments of right, 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 boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, 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 boy. I come in shalom not to fight, boy. Don't follow nothing but Christ, boy. Just try my best to do right, boy. I'm turned cause I found the light, boy. In the midst of all the lies, boy. Do the commandments of right, boy. I'm trying to help save your life, boy. He don't care how much you got in checking. Cause it ain't like you can buy a blessing. 24/7, man, I'm in session. Stay away from folks that's messy. Now not the time for us being petty. I read the Bible and hit the heaven. Don't know the time, so I'm getting ready. Deuteronomy tell you about the curses. Swear that these preachers, they lie on purpose. They only want money from Sunday service, so they can buy shoes and a belt from Hermes. While some of the members that's in their churches can't even eat, man, they really hurting. Time running down, about to close the curtains. Gonna be too late to be getting nervous. I'm doing this music to save my people. Strapped with the Bible, no desert eagle. I'm working on being my brother keeper. Seem like the whole world condemned with evil. I'm doing this music to save my people. I'm strapped with the Bible, no desert eagle. I'm working on being my brother's keeper, cause it seems like the whole world condemned with evil.
Come in shalom not to fight, boy. Don't follow nothing but Christ, boy. Try my best to do right, boy. I'm turned cause I found the light, boy. In the midst of all the lies, boy. Do the commandments of right, boy. I'm trying to hustle your life, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy.
That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. I come in shalom not to fight, 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 boy. Do the commandments of right, 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 boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy. That's why I'm an Israelite, boy.
I come in shalom not to fight, boy. Don't follow nothing but Christ, boy. Try my best to do right, boy. I'm turned cause I found the light, boy. In the midst of all the lies.
123 save the day.
We the Israelites, G. By now you can't see. Type it in, I beg you please. Type it in, I beg you please. We the Israelites, G. By now you can't see. Type it in, I beg you please. Type it in, I beg you please. No religion, my brother. Straight roots and culture. See the people over there in Israel, those guys are vultures. They took us away, made us into slaves, took away our last names. Animals we became, didn't even have any shoes on our feet. Gave us crap food to eat, the same food we still eat. Oxtail, pig's tail, cow food, chicken food. Take a look, hey, we've been conditioned, you see. Biggest weapon, Christianity. Teaching the people to follow traditions which our ancestors never heard or seen. Christmas, not in the Bible, G. Easter, not in the Bible, G. Lent, not in the Bible, G. Rah. That's not what the pastor preached to me. He told me the law is down the way. He said by grace that we are free. No, there has to be law and order. Without order, there's no order. How can you be judged without no borders? No blueprint, no rota, no instructions, no guidelines, no manual of how to rise. Real eyes, realize, realize, Israelites, it's time to rise. It's time to rise. It's time to rise. We the Israelites, G. By now you can't see. Type it in, I beg you please. Type it in, I beg you please. We the Israelites, G. By now you can't see. Type it in, I beg you please. Type it in, I beg you please.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Boom.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
hear
Okay, then cool. All right, then. All praises. We'd like to welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. I am Shia Yeshub Judah. We got Ayo Ben Yahoo. We also got Manat Lahaya with us tonight. We got an awesome lineup for you. Before we get going, want to give congrats to Yame.
Shirt.
But first shout out. She gets a Truth Be Told Flex podcast shirt. And so want to say congrats to her for that. We get a round of applause. Oh, well, yeah, okay, then. But and second, Shaka Boom did put it in there. I did see it. Hey, like up, please. Thumbs up, like up. Yeah. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for the algorithm to let us get out there so more people can say, I did. I concentrated too. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I did. Hey, I be practicing. Yeah, I don't be saying it though. I'd like to say shalom to the Light Hebrew magazine as well. Thank you for stopping in and visiting us tonight. And as you saw in the beginning, we have gave a little promo to the F3 event that's going to be coming next summer. One thing that I have learned about flying, I only flew one time, but I did learn this most valuable lesson. The earlier you get your ticket, the cheaper it's going to be. Don't wait till the last minute.
Last minute if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Wait till the last minute if you want to. You gonna cry when you see them prices.
You'll be crying. C-R-I-N-E, crying.
Exactly. But without anything else, Ayob, how you doing, brother? You doing good?
And I am great. Y'all say I got a new microphone.
That joint sound good too, man. You crystal clear.
Man, I'm crystal clear on my new microphone. Not microphone, but
microphone.
Microphone.
You ain't got to sing in the top one up there, no more.
No, I don't.
All praises, man.
I'm blessed. Man, the Most High is just grand. Being yoked with Mashiach is grand. The set apart Ruach is grand. Hey, trials and tribulations come, but they only come to make us stronger, man.
That's it, brother. Hey, that is it. Yeah. And when we look at it, we're doing great over here, man. We cannot complain. The Most High continue to bless us. We're getting stronger as a family. Like you say, man, it's just to walk with the Most High. He continues to reveal things to you. And with me, myself, I can't speak for nobody else in here. Daily, I for real see how much of a wretched person that I am and how much I need the Most High. I see it on a daily basis, you know. And so with that being said, I just continue to, you know, try my best to deny myself, man. Anybody who say that this walk is easy, they ain't walking this walk.
Listen.
They ain't walking this walk.
They ain't walking this walk.
I don't know what you're doing, but you ain't walking this walk because this flesh is something else, man. And the thing about this flesh is that joker there, it rises up when it want to. So, you know, but how are you, Benat?
I'm doing well. It was a long day today. I sat in traffic that I'm not used to sitting in today, so my mind was scattered when I got here, when I got to the house, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All praises. All praises. We are here. We ready to get this thing going. I want to say shalom to the Truth Be Told Flex Podcast family. I said it once, I said it again, and I said it a million times. You guys are the greatest. Thank you. Because you could be for real doing anything else, but you have chose to spend this next 2 hours with us. And so therefore we do what we can to make sure that we give you some valuable content. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to turn it over to Benat Shalahaya and we're going to get this show going. What we got?
All right. So for the 3x15, we got some hot topics for you guys today. The first one is, this one has been in the news for a little while. I'm sure people are sick of hearing it. I know I'm sick of hearing about it, sick of hearing about them, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Jada Pinkett. She came out. Don't drop your head, yo.
I'm just saying, it's just
it's a lot. It's a lot. She came out with a new memoir, and her memoir is titled Worthy. I've gotten a lot of different opinions on this. A lot of men have things to say about it. A lot of women have things to say about it. But what seems to be the consensus from probably 90% of the people I talk to is they're tired of hearing from Jada. They wish Jada would go somewhere and sit down. I've not read the memoir. I've read a few excerpts from it, but I also read a few excerpts from Will. From Will's memoir, from his book titled Will. They're similar, but yet different at the same time. And anybody who's read either one of them should be able to tell right away what the differences are. But what do you guys think about her, not so much the memoir itself, but her putting out a memoir?
Go ahead, Doc. You can take first jab on this.
I'm just glad to know that it's a memoir, because at first I just thought that she was just randomly waking up every morning and calling publicists and calling newspaper and saying, "Hey, Will did this, Will did that." Right. I was confused. Remember, I sent you the text message, Jock, and I'm like, man, I'm exhausted with this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every morning I pull out my phone. It's another picture of Jada, and Jada done said this about Will, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, you know, are you this bitter? You know what I'm saying? That you can't sleep at night. And for real, I honestly believe, I was like, man, and I asked my wife that. I said, is she like going to bed and waking up the next morning and calling the people and be like, hey, this something else Will done did. You know what I'm saying? And so I was exhausted. Now, it don't make it any easier to swallow because I'm still over her. I'm tired of her.
Right.
You know, it's just now I understand that she's trying to sell a book.
Right. Right.
It makes
Or makes sense.
it makes
sense
more
now.
sense now, right?
Right.
That she's trying to sell a book. But the things that she's saying, when me and my wife got married, man, we laid down we had put some rules down before we got married. One of them was divorce is not an option.
Right.
One of the others were that we are always going to be a force together, meaning that if we got problems on the inside of the house, we're going to keep it in the house and nobody outside is going to know that, meaning that if we out in the public, everybody in the public going to think that we are the happiest couple in the world. Now, when we get back inside of our car, we can fight. When we get in the house, we can fight.
Right.
But when we out in the open, we going to be one.
Right.
They still married.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Everybody know, and this is the thing, and this is the difference, okay? My wife said, if you read either one, I haven't read neither of them. I didn't even know that Will that wrote a memoir up until a few minutes ago, right? But I've seen a couple of his comments. And that was one of the things that I told you when I text you. I said, man, Will is being silent. Up until that time, you hadn't heard nothing from Will. And I said, I'm proud of him. Wherever you at, Will, stay where you are, right? Then all of a sudden, I got on my phone and Will had said something. I opened it up. I was nervous to open it up,
right.
But I was like, well, Will kind of got sense. You know what I'm saying? So it might not be what I think it is. And it wasn't. Will was like, Jada is a beautiful person. I just threw my hands up. Out of all of this that she's been saying, he said, Jada is a beautiful person. And I wished her the best out of the one that I read. You know what I'm saying? Now, talking to my wife, she's read some of both of them. And she was telling me, and this here we know for a fact because we've heard Will. When Will talk about the things that he's done, that he has done, he has owned up to all of it. Not saying that any of it was right, but he owned up to it. This is what I did. This is what I did. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't right for this, but this is what I did. He owned it.
Right.
When you listen to Jada, it's always somebody else's fault. But everything that she does is always somebody else's fault. And it's almost like, and I started off talking about the rules that my wife and I set. I don't need a woman in my life that's going to belittle me. I don't need a woman in my life that's going to make me look less than a man in front of people. My wife don't need a man in her life that's going to do the same thing to her. They're still married at the end of the day, regardless to who she slept with, regardless to who Will slept with. At the end of the day, they still married right now.
Right.
You see?
Right.
And it's like you are finding enjoyment embarrassing this dude. Regardless to if you wanted to marry him or if your mama talked you into marrying him or not, you guys are married. And you will find an enjoyment in embarrassing this dude. So it goes back to what I said previously with all of this that Jada is saying. Will is still being humble. Will is still keeping to himself. Look, in the sense of you can believe what you want to believe. We're going to let her do what it is that she want to do. But we also seeing the differences between how females operate and how males operate as well. Regardless of what she's doing,
right.
You know, Jada is trying to make a fool out of Will, but Will is not allowing it because like my mama told me, when two people are arguing, nobody could tell who the fool is.
Right.
Nobody could tell who the fool is, you know? And so she's moving off a whole lot of emotions right now. Where they coming from, I don't know. But Will is moving methodically. He's keeping to himself. And I appreciate that. Yeah. But to answer the question that Bernard Shalahaya asked, what's my thoughts on it? I said a whole lot of stuff just to say this. I'm tired of Jada. Jada need to go sit down somewhere.
Sit down.
I'm tired of Jada. I'm tired of her.
Oh man, yeah. Big con. I'm so tired of her. I mean, it's when you here's my main thought And I want to pose this question back to y'all and the audience. And this is a statement, but I want to formulate it in the fact or the fashion of you can ask yourself, I can't remember a time where I've ever seen narcissism or an ego at the highest peak. And I get it. You're trying to sell a book. I understand. But when you put a person, your spouse, like you said, great point, someone that you are still married to, and you make them the butt of the jokes and the punching bag, and then on top of that, you have an old boyfriend or lover, whatever you want to call Tupac in her sense, that is no longer here, and you talking like he's still alive, but y'all don't date no more. Like, it's just wow. I'm like, man, I don't think I've ever seen a narcissist, like you said, no accountability, no culpability. If somebody say, hey, look, we want to help you out in figuring this out and coming to a resolution to a problem you may have, she say, well, no, this is somebody else's fault. They made me like this.
Right.
He affected my self-esteem. Well, like Cat Williams say, it is an esteem of yourself.
Right.
How can someone else affect your self-esteem? Like, it's just bizarre. And I'm with you. Sell 1 million copies of this book so you can go somewhere and surround. Like, it just, I mean, my goodness. I mean, I read Will Smith's memoir, and I haven't read Jada's yet, and I'm gonna wrap up my point. But two things that just, like I said, narcissism to the fullest of your husband. This is your husband. You made a vow. Whether y'all are acting or not, you still made a vow in front of an ordained minister and under the heavens to the Creator. You made a vow to this man can protect you. You're gonna protect him. The death do your part till you are back in the soil. You're gonna protect each other, like you said, Sheer. Me and my wife the same way. We may disagree, but we not gonna. When we get in the car, when we get in the house, we can talk about the disagreement. But we always one soul, one flesh, one ruach.
Right.
So saying all that to say, two things that stood out in Will's book. It was the one where I want to say he was shooting Hancock. It was either Hancock or something else where he was overseas. So he came home, got all of her family and his family together, scheduled a dinner, surprise dinner in India somewhere. He flew everybody out in Tibet, somewhere like that, exotic. She got upset. He surprised her for her birthday or the anniversary. She got upset. She got mad at him. Ruined the dinner. Dinner was horrible. Her parents, his parents, everybody was like, what is going on? She was fussing, didn't appreciate it. That was one thing. I was just like, wow, what is when what's the daughter name? Not the boy, not Willow. Willow. Yo, Willow wrote a letter to Tupac, y'all. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna screenshot it and send you the pages in the book. Willow wrote a letter to Tupac on how he was messing up her mom and daddy marriage.
Oh wow, wow! You
know, Jada wouldn't stop talking about him.
And that's the thing too that a lot of people are not seeing. Ayo, is how these children are being affected, and
they're adults now. But carry on.
They are adults, but they were affected by it when they were younger. And they strange. Today.
Oh man, to the core. Golly.
They're different.
Yeah,
they are different.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So change of perspective just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I think is important to understand the difference between, and I'm not saying I'm not tired of Jada myself. I am. I think she has gone about this all wrong. It's not the way I would have handled it. Right. Obviously not the way, most women would have handled this situation. I think she's gone about it incorrectly. I'll put it that way. But she had made a comment that she's blaming everybody else. And that's what I took from the excerpts that I read from her memoir. The difference between her and Will is saying, this thing happened to me in my life. This is how I didn't respond. This is how I didn't step up to the plate. This is how I became this way. Whereas she speaks to things that happened to her in her life because she's from Baltimore. She had a very difficult upbringing. She was raised by her grandmother, a lot like, you know, what happened with Will being with his Gigi, as he called her. Jada was raised by her grandmother. Her mom was an addict. Her dad was an addict. Her grandmother drank on the weekends. So she had an interesting upbringing, but it's still always everybody else's fault. And I think with Jada and with most women, she's looking for somebody to validate her. Yeah. She's not being validated. And so Ayoba, I heard what you said about her ruining the dinner. What you may not know is she had already told Will she didn't want anything big and extravagant. She wanted something small, intimate between just them. So it's not even so much, in my opinion, that she wasn't appreciative. Will didn't listen to her love language. Yeah, that's true. What she requested, he didn't do. Now, would I have ruined the dinner? No, I wouldn't have handled it that way. But that's me. We only know the pieces that we know. We only know the things that they have told us about, and we're looking at it from the outside looking in. Right. But at the end of the day, I think the general consensus is, Jada, get your book out, your memoir out, do what you got to do, make your sales, have a seat.
Go sit down. Go sit down.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
That's a great point. Real quick, she did say, and Will did say that she said that she just wanted something intimate. However, I wouldn't just get through the dinner. And like we all agree, I think me and both as men and as a wife, and as my wife would say, behind closed doors after the dinner, Jada,
I'm gonna rip you a new one. I'm gonna rip you a new one.
That's your wife love language. You're supposed to receive every bit of what she had to say. Right. As a man, you're supposed to say, "You right, babe. You right. I messed up. I didn't listen." Because as men, that's the first thing. That's part of the love language for a woman. We gotta listen to our wives.
You have to listen. That is true.
So
with that being said, like I said, I haven't read the book and all, and I know we got to hurry up and go to the next one. But with that being said, we have no idea was Will trying to make up for something, because you know your wife too. You did what I'm saying. Wife, you know, I really don't want something.
Don't make excuses for him. Leave it at that. Okay, he didn't listen to what she requested. Don't matter if he was trying to make up. All right, listen to the love language. Next topic. All right, so I don't know if you guys know who Sexy Red is. I didn't know who Sexy Red is until here recently. The only reason I'm bringing Sexy Red up is because
where the trash can at?
Okay. The only reason I'm bringing this young lady up is because of the influence that she is going to have on a lot of females, a lot of our younger generation females. I thought a lot of what Cardi B was putting out there, a lot of what Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion was putting out there. I thought a lot of what they was putting out there was a little bit racy, raunchy. It didn't need to be out in the public. That's behind the scenes at the juke joint. Didn't need to be out there. However, this young lady, Sexy Red, did you guys know she had a new lip gloss line?
I did.
Oh man, yes.
So for those of you who did not know, her lip gloss line, and
kids, close, cover your
if there are children listening, please have them step out of the room. I'll pause for a few seconds to give them a moment to step out. But this lip gloss line that this young lady has coming out, I don't know who plans on purchasing it. And when I tell you what the names are, I promise you I didn't make this up. This is published somewhere. The name of her lip gloss lines are, these are supposed to be colors and somewhat, if I understood correctly, flavors of the lip gloss. Coochie Juice, Booty Hole Brown, Coochie Pink, Sex on My Period, Gonorrhea, Yellow Discharge, and Nut. And I'm gonna leave it right there. I'll let y'all have it. I'll let y'all do what y'all gonna do with that information.
Unreal.
Somebody need they hind and what?
Where does shit come from, man?
Man,
Like, this is one of these where this like a real have a conversation.
right.
Where does chick come from? I want to know. I truly believe she's an industry plant.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that she's not an industry plant because I made that comment once before, and they was like she came out on. So I can't remember what they said she came out on. I don't know, but anyway, they said she's been out for a minute. But I believe she's an industry plant. I haven't met nobody to this day in real life, and my wife know I call it the wild, right? I call it the wild. I haven't met anybody in real life that likes this chick. Everybody that I talk about this chick to, like everybody, I have not met anybody who rocks with Sexy Red. Now, I haven't talked to the millennials. That I can say. I haven't talked to those of her age group.
Our boys think she's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I've not talked to your daughter, but your boys think she's disgusting.
Yeah. But, bro, how do we get here? Like, you couldn't have made me believe from Uncle Luke to now that we'd have got to where we are right now.
Right.
Well, you don't think that it was a catalyst, Uncle Luke?
DJ Magic Mike.
Too short.
Too short.
You don't think those were catalysts and introductories to where we are now? It just gets more and more ratchet. I think the difference is, and I heard you guys talking about it before. Maybe that was on Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass on that podcast. They were talking about the difference between where it is now versus where it was maybe 10 years ago. It was the men who were doing it. But you know, you've always heard that saying, a woman should kind of stay in a woman's place. Like, it's okay for men to be that way, but women shouldn't necessarily put that out there like that. And I think that's where the tables have turned. Right. Men have always kind of had that, because if you go back to some of the men back in the day, Clarence Carter, some of the older generation, one of what's his name, baby, Pokey Bear.
Yeah.
One of your the kind of things that they talk about, and then look at where we are with our women. I think the roles have just reversed. It's just, you know, women like to be extra, and that's what this is. It's just extra.
I agree. The reason me and she was talking about this earlier, and the sad thing is that she is now pregnant with child, and hopefully the baby comes out healthy, boy or girl. She has a great pregnancy, and maybe this will slow her down. This is her second child, from what I understand.
Yep.
But and the reason I say an industry plant, and it's good that we're having this conversation, and maybe later we can expound on this, is because as far as the culture, the music, you know, back in the day, like we just said, from Clarence Carter to even Barry White, and his songs would get a little racy. Not necessarily raunchy, but going all the way to Akinelli. My mama, if I brought an Akinelli tape into the house, into the driveway, you better get that boy, get that mess. I know what he about. So the men did it. Now it's embedded in our culture with the women. And I truly think, me and she was talking about this earlier. I'm gonna try to make my point as quick and as eloquent as I can. The past few years, the industry, you know, rap sales are down 40%, right? You have Little Baby, one of the hot NBA young boy. Their concerts are getting canceled because they're not selling tickets to the concert, and their rap sales and streams are down. However, you have the 80s and 90s groups, Make Edition, Jodeci, Drew Hill, SWV, Rakim, selling out stadiums. Selling out. They're on tour. Jodeci is on tour right now. SWV and Drew Hill. They're on tour. H-Town. They're on tour, selling out stadiums. So the past couple of years, everybody's been kind of wanting this decency to come back. So now you have NBA young boy, little baby, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B trending down. Fathers, mothers staying together, children with both parents are now trending up. So to me, now you have, what was that, fireworks? Okay. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Come on, Ruach Hakadash. But anyway, they have to have somebody to perpetrate this baby mama, baby daddy culture, second child out of wedlock culture again. So that, because it's trending down. And so now they have to kind of have somebody in the forefront to say, hey, look, millions of girls, 20, 21, 23, 25. Let's start doing this again. Nicki and Cardi B showed you the independence of being a stripper, dropping the ball on the mixtape, boom, record deal. Now you independent. You on your own. You don't need no man. Now just sleep with as many men as you want to, or as many people as you want to, and just go have more babies out of wedlock. And you can do a lip gloss line with raunchy names and just do your thing. That's how I know she's a plant, because in 2023, with rap going to where it's going, they got to have somebody like that. And now you got a chick named Scarlett that went viral on another Sexy Red was Pound Town. Scarlett was, I don't even want to say the name of her come out single. It's the same thing as Pound Town. So I think, yeah, it's sad. It's sad, man.
The crazy part is Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are both married now. So right. I can understand why, you know, the industry felt like they needed to do an implant.
Yep.
Because you got them who, and Cardi B says what Cardi B says, but she loves being a mom. I don't know if y'all have ever seen any of her stuff on TikTok where she gets up and puts her kids' lunches together.
Yeah.
For school or what. She loves being a mom. She loves being married, despite what she does in the industry. That's how she said, that's how I make my money. That's how I came in this thing. That's how I make my money.
And she don't let, I'm sorry, real quick. And she don't let her children listen to her music. Go ahead.
Right. Correct. No. Correct. And she even advocates, if you're a parent and you're allowing your child to listen to this kind of music, shame on you. But this is for entertainment purposes only. Right. So she does have some values. I mean, I don't know about this Sexy Red chick. Like I said, I didn't even know who she was until a couple of weeks ago.
I was for real when I said look for a trash can. And this is the saddest part about all of this is that what we got. We ain't got that much longer. This is the saddest part about all of this is that, and you right that the rap music numbers are going down. And I know for a fact that the 80s and 90s, the 90s generation is going up, right? But there is still a younger generation down there. She is teaching that younger generation. This here still stems to when the scripture said this, he's going to do a strange thing when a woman shall encompass the man. You know, the value of men is going down in the world, and one of that reasons is because we're starting to lose the grip on real men and real women, and they are using people like still Cardi B, even though she'll let you know that she's doing it for her money.
Right.
There's still a hard. Children have a hard time deciphering between entertainment and reality.
Come on,
they have a hard time deciphering between that. You see what I'm saying? And so when they say certain things, these women, these girls are listening to that and they feeding on that. And you're going to put out the energy that you put in. This is something that I had to learn a lot older in life, that what you put in is what you're going to put out. And that's not necessarily meaning what you eat.
Right.
Who you're around, what you listen to, what you watch, the company that you keep. And so they put in this bad energy in and they put in that bad energy out. So if they can corrupt enough girls to think like Sexy Red and Scarlett,
that's it.
That's a population control right there.
That's it. Come on, man. That's it.
That's a population control right there, along with everything else that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to the next one. We got about 5 minutes, man. We got to talk like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. We got to do a twister.
So the next topic, I found this one to be very interesting, and you and Ashir kind of already talked about this before, where we saw this whole concept of athletes being paid for being athletes in college sports now. It used to be schools were making millions. Some of the top tier schools were making millions of dollars off of these kids, their likeness. Their sales are up, their school enrollment is up, all kinds of things in terms of their financial capabilities were trending upwards because you have these athletes, depending on whether it was football, basketball, whatever the case may be. And so somewhere along the way, they finally decided, and we agreed, students need to start being paid for this. These kids need to start being paid for this because they weren't allowed to work, especially if you had a scholarship. You're not allowed to work. The only money you have is the money that you have. And if you happen to be a kid whose parents don't have a whole lot, well, guess what? You really have nothing unless somebody felt sorry for you and gave it to you. Yeah. But one of the things that they're running into is they're saying the amount of money that these kids are getting now, should they really be considered employees of the schools? And all of the athletes are like, I don't want to be an employee. Because with employees comes restrictions.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And then the other thing that came out of this is that there's a fear that Division II and Division III schools are going to abandon their athletic programs because they can no longer compete with the D1 schools and the financial aspect of it. If you're an athlete who goes to a D1 school, you're afforded a certain amount of money. So all these kids now want to go to this school. If I can't go to D1, then I don't necessarily want to play. D2 and D3 already can't compete to some degree, but they're really not going to be able to compete with this.
I got a question.
Go for it.
Before you go, Ayob, and I think, and I want to ask this because you played on the college level, and it's just popped that to me when Bernard was talking about this. He got to talk about D2 and D3 schools. There are also some D1 schools that I feel like that's not going to be able to compete well.
Because you got the major, Florida State, University of Colorado, UCLA, Nebraska, all the big names.
The big names.
The mid majors.
Then you got Sunbelt Conference.
Yep, Sunbelt Conference, ECU, Sam Houston. Right. Then you got the lower echelon, almost Division II, App State, James Madison, Wofford, Gardner-Webb, smaller colleges. So, with Shadua making $4.1 million, and you got other quarterbacks making $3 million, $2 million off of NIL, that's going to draw ticket sales. People want to see that because now they're like a celebrity. So James Madison, University of Central Florida, South Florida, they're not going to be able to hang with that in the next 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah,
man.
I agree with what Bernard said, and I don't know if the students actually said that in the article that she pulled it from. You don't want to become an employee to those schools. If you become an employee to that school, man, you think you got restrictions now?
Oh yeah. Ain't nobody going home on Thanksgiving. Everybody staying.
What you talking about? What you talking about, man?
You gotta work this weekend.
You gotta learn. You get packed up to go home. You get to learn in your text. Nobody leaves campus. Like what? You can't go.
They're gonna get everything out of you that they putting in you, man. The dean is no longer the dean. He's HR.
He's HR.
Hey now, watch it.
But like HR meaning if you leave this campus and go eat that turkey with your family, when you come back, you're gonna have an eviction notice on your door.
Right, exactly.
That's
exactly.
That's sad.
Yeah, because you're an employee, you're no longer a student.
There you go. You say it again.
Yeah, you no longer a student.
You are now man. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, you are an employee. Yeah, we finished just in time.
Just in time.
We got 20 seconds to spare.
Wow, come on. Come on,
20 seconds to spare. Right. That was great. That was a great 3x15. Yeah.
That was good.
Moving on to the Beyond Critical Race Theory.
Got a good one. Man. Everybody is heard about and probably learned a little bit about this iconic event in history. there was a couple things I didn't know. I remember the picture, and I think we got a picture. If you could put that up, enough. And it always to this day stuck in my mind, out in my mind, and I always wonder, like, what was their thoughts, how they felt leading up afterwards. And I did some digging in, and I didn't know that 55 years ago, actually on Monday, 55 years ago this week, Tommy Smith, you're looking at the iconic Olympics picture of the first and third place. Tommy Smith and John Carlos performed the Black Power salute at the Olympics that outraged millions of white Americans. I want to read something right quick before I go into this, and I want y'all to think about this as I read this. I'm gonna go from the KJV, and I'm gonna be reading from Daniel 3, real quick. Daniel 3, verses 5 through 10, and I want y'all to think about a certain song that they played during this, and they played during every sporting event, and that Colin Kaepernick got in trouble for. I want y'all to think about this as I read this and see if you can see this from the Hebraic and the Most High perspective. But listen to this. Daniel 3, 5 through 10. That at that time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, all the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore, at the time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou king hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. It said that white Americans were outraged because when the Star-Spangled Banner played, they didn't put their hand over their heart. They held their fists up with black gloves. And when I read that about the cornet, the flute, I just heard that. I just heard it. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So listen to this. This was an act of protest by the U.S. athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos during their medal ceremony at the 1968 Summer Olympics in the Olympic Stadium in Mexico City. As they turned to face their flags and hear the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, play, they each raised a black glove fist and kept them raised until the anthem had finished. Smith, Carlos, and Australian silver medalist Peter Norman all wore human rights badges on their jackets. The event is regarded as one of the mostly overtly political statements in the history of the modern Olympic Games. Both athletes were kicked off the U.S. team for their protests. And it also goes on to say, although no words were spoken, the moment was full of meaning. Smith, who had won gold in the 200 meters, setting a new world record, raised his fist to represent Black Power. Bronze medalist John Carlos, wearing a bead necklace to symbolize the lynchings of Black or Israelite Americans, raised his left fist to represent Black unity. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the beads represented the lynchings. I also didn't know this. This is another fact. Tommy Smith and John Carlos received their medals wearing black socks and no shoes to represent Black poverty. I did not know that. With this gesture, they tried to draw international attention to racial discrimination in the United States. The black gloved and raised clenched fists were meant to symbolize Black power. Now, and this is the part to where the fiery furnace not bowing down to the stars, but this is where this comes into play. It said, how did Smith and Carlos and Norman suffer due to their actions? The Australian in second place, he wrote a pro human rights He wore a pro-human rights pin badge. It was his suggestion that the two U.S. runners wore a glove each after Carlos realized he had forgotten his pair. The American athletes were sent home and given life Olympic bans. Now, it says the fallout was immediate and intense. Smith and Carlos were expelled from the games and later ostracized by the U.S. sports establishment. Their families received hate mail and death threats. Listen to that suffering and persecution. Smith insisted that their actions were misinterpreted as support of Black separatism. Smith returned to poverty and Carlos struggled to find work. Now, here's a good ending to the story. Now, both are still alive. They are 78 and 79 years old or years young, and they both continue to work for human rights. And they founded the Olympic Project for Human Rights. They are both married, 78 and 79 years young, children, grandchildren. So salute to you, Tommy Smith and John Carlos. I knew about the Black Fist and the Black Power, but the not wearing the shoes, when I seen that picture and read the article, I was like, okay, they got on black socks. I never realized that, and I never realized that he had the beads on to represent the lynchings. But yeah, there you have it. Heroes, man. Tommy Smith or John Carlos, and it takes me back to the start of this article. Why were they enraged when they were just protesting because of things that was happening to? It's funny how somebody that doesn't have something happening bad to them will get upset when somebody just protests about what's happening bad to them. Just like with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. And I thought about that and read Daniel 3, and that's what stuck out to me. What you guys feel about that? What you guys think? Can't hear y'all.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this Beyond Critical Race Theory fits hand in glove with one of the stories that we got tonight.
Yes.
This sure couldn't have even been scripted no better.
Right.
This is awesome. The question I have is, why can't we as Black people bring attention to our plight?
That's it.
Whenever we bring attention to our plight, something wrong. It's just like, our Black sisters, our queens, whenever they ask a question, they're always viewed as the angry Black woman. Why is that?
Why is that?
Whenever we bring attention to what's going on with us, we're always viewed as the angry Black people. We're always pulling a race card. Why is that? You see what I'm saying? When I don't want to go too far into what our topic is going to be, because we'll get there when we get there, but these people are looking at us because we're not raising a voice for them because of what they're going through. You dig what I'm saying? Right. Look, I just learned 3 days ago, Bernard and Ayo, that Black has no legal stance at all in the courts.
Come on, man.
When I learned that, I told you I'm just 3 days old learning that. When I learned that just like,
when you said that to me, the same thing, I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, I did send it to you.
Yep.
I did send it to you. What that means is that they have conditioned us to call ourselves Black that has no anchor whatsoever to a nation, which means that when we walk into their courtrooms or when they have to fight for us, they don't have to fight for us, because in all reality, we are nobody.
Nobody.
All you're Black.
That's it.
Who is Black? You see what I'm saying? And so when you got these brothers standing on the podium, hold on, but not, I'm gonna let you. But when you got these brothers standing on the podium in what was the year again?
68.
1968, standing on the podium, all they was doing for real, they was bringing attention to what was going on. The beads, the lynching, the no shoes, black socks, the poverty that we going through, right? It was something else that you called out. I can't remember exactly what it was at this particular time. They're not stirring up no hatred. They're not looking at it from a hate. We just want you to know what we're going through, and everybody got a problem with it. Now, so much to the point, on the last Beyond Critical Race Theory that we talked about with the money with the athletes, America had to figure out a way to where we won't have athletes like this here no more. So what did they do? They start endorsing. This is why these athletes today are so quiet on political issues when it comes to us, because they scared to death to lose their shoe deal. Yep. They scared to death to lose their commercials. So therefore, they just assume to be quiet with everything that's happening to us. Yep. You had people like that. You had George Foreman. You had your not James Brown. He just died not long ago, the football player.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, you had them back then because they had nothing to lose, but everything to gain if people listened to what it was that they was trying to say. Go ahead, Bernard.
So I just wanted to add, when they asked Smith about his protest, one of the things that he said that was so poignant was, if I win, I'm an American.
Good.
If I protest and I lose, I'm a Black American. They only bring light to the color or his race, if you will, his nationality, if you will. If he loses or if there's a problem, he's a Black American.
Right.
But if he wins, we're not going to say a Black American won. We're just going to say an American won. But yeah, I thought that was a telltale comment that he made, especially in light of him trying to, I am a Black athlete. There are issues that we're going through and you guys need to recognize that, but we'd much rather you just be quiet, run for this country and close your mouth.
That's right.
That's it.
That was probably one of my favorite ones right there. Just from the standpoint of everything that they had on symbolized something. The glove, that's what it was. The glove meant Black power. The beads was the lynching, and the no shoes and black shoes were the poverty that we're going through. Everything that they had on absolutely meant something. And instead of people recognizing what we sending billions of dollars to people that can't even speak our language, and you can't even take care of the ones that's here in your front yard, man. Come on. There's a problem.
That's a problem.
There is a problem.
Yeah. Salute to those men. They're still alive and living. And I, like I said, we give them their flowers while they're here, man. That was a big moment. And to risk.
And you said it was 55 years ago, Monday. Yep. Ricky Smiley didn't talk about it.
Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, none of them has mentioned it. And they were
none of them mentioned it.
If you want real news, this is where you got to come.
Already. Already. Yeah. Well, we got the music break, then we come back with our first topic. Let's get it.
No matter the nation, stop all your complaining.
How they did Kyrie, You know what happened to Kanye. Take their money and make them apologize, but the truth has been revealed and Jacob is on the rise. There's a land that's promised for you and me. The gate remains locked, but Yah gave us the key. Stevie ain't really blind, piano keys EC. And Christ gave sight to the blind. If we remain on the grind, there's a reward that's greater than all. Even though the world hates us and all. Even though we got these on our neck, taxes coming out our check, bullet wounds on our back, our women under attack. Flashback with Moses received the law. We were worshiping a calf. Little faith we have. Imagine if our ancestors would have kept the covenant. We would be in paradise, laid back, loving it. Oh.
IBL Nava and Jamil the Trump Rattler.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
It's a nice cut right there.
Y'all may call him Truth Snoop. I'm like, right?
It's like Snoop came in the truth. That
right.
Flow, but minus the gin and juice. Oh, Jamil.
He got a new one coming out. He worked. It's about to drop. Yes. About to drop.
We're gonna have him on the show that I think that first week in November.
Right.
Yeah, so we're excited about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What we got? What we got first?
All right, guys. So the topic one for tonight, a big hot topic is Black Americans are torn over Hamas's attack on Israel. Most of us are not sure how to feel about it. There's a couple of different perspectives, if you will, that I've seen. So you have some on social media saying that, you know, the Jewish community didn't stand up for Black Lives Matter, you know, during the George Floyd incident, but yet they are expecting us to stand up and speak. And then the flip side of that is you have people making comments saying things like, if African Americans knew how Israel treated Black people, they wouldn't be for Israel. They wouldn't care about what's going on over in Israel. It's just, there's just a lot of mixed emotions about how people feel about it. Some of them, you know, some people feel more compelled to feel for these people because of what's happening to the children. Maybe not so much the adults, but you know how the children are being treated. So there's a lot of us that are torn right now, and I think it's because so many of us are uneducated on the real history of what's going on with these countries. But what is your take on it, guys?
What you got, yo?
Oh boy, man, I got some notes, and it's just. When I seen this article, and to land back off of what Banaf is saying, the mixed emotions is, you know, we know who we are, we know what's, you know, going on the spiritual and the literal flesh side. It's just amazing how nobody wants to hear our voice when we, like we just said, when we are actually talking about stuff that's happening to us, whether it's getting gunned down in the streets, unarmed men by policemen, whether it's our children getting kidnapped and nobody talking about it, whether it's our women getting beat up by the police and nobody talking about it. And they want to ask our opinion on this. They want to write an article. It's only when it's time to vote and something like this. Hey, black people, what do you got to say? And they got the microphone and they want to know how we feel. What I got to say to the people, to us, y'all, this is not our fight. It's not our fight.
100.
It is not our fight.
Bomb should have dropped on that one. Wow, I do.
Bong on it. This is the Most High fighting for us, and I'm gonna go through this as quickly as I can. And it says, like Banaf was saying, numerous posts on social media platforms feature hashtags like hashtag BLM, hashtag PLM, underscoring the perceived parallels between the struggles of Palestinians and African Americans in their fight against systemic racism. All right, so I believe you read it last week, Amos 1, 6-7. I believe you read that last week.
I probably did, yeah.
Let's just real quick, and I'm prefacing this synopsis with that. Let me tell you what it's all about. Amos 1:6. Thus saith the Most High, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity. In this last line, let me tell you who this is about. The Most High himself, and he was telling Amos, tell him who it's going to be about. The whole captivity, to do what? To deliver them up to who? To Edom. That's who this is about, y'all. We got mixed feelings. Amari Stoudemire, you need to be dunked in the basketball, bro. And I hope you're watching, because I'm highly disappointed in what you had to say.
Well, that's to be expected. And this is one of the things too with us is Hebrews who know the truth, right? I remember when he started coming out as that he was a Hebrew, so many of us was jumping on the bandwagon. And I'm like, people, y'all don't pay attention. I said, this dude is not us. This dude is practicing Judaism. With that being said, is one of the reasons me, myself, and I'm not telling nobody what to do, but me, myself, I do not consider myself a Jew. Jew is a slang word that they use for themselves. We were not considered Jews in the Bible. I know that word is in the Bible, but as you pay attention to when it came about when the Greek influence came about into the Bible. You dig what I'm saying? They are Jews. We are Hebrews. We are Israelites. That's who we are. That dude there is a Jew. That's who he is. He might as well put him a hat on and tape him some culicues on the side of it and walk around with like the rest of them, because that's who he is. He is not like the culicues. You did. You know what I'm saying? He is not. You good, bro? But he is not one of us. You dig what I'm saying? And so exactly, we are Yehudim. We are Judah. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly who we are. But the thing that get me out, going back to your beyond critical race theory and where we are now, is that whenever we try to say something for ourselves, it's a problem. But whenever something happens to them,
what y'all got to say about it? How y'all?
What y'all got to say about it? You dig what I'm saying? Now, one of the things that I really have a problem with, and Banat Shalahaya mentioned it when she was giving us the story. She said people don't know the real history, and that's the problem with not reading. There wouldn't be a clouded judgment if people understood the history. See, these Jews want to make it seem like that the Palestinians want to annihilate them, just destroy them, kill them all. That's not what they want. They want them from over there.
That's it.
That's what they want. If you leave, we'll leave you alone. The media is painting this horrible picture. And this is one of the things that I was telling my wife. They talking about the children being killed, which is sad. They talking about the women being raped, which is sad. But like I told my wife, this is war. I was reading Ezekiel 8 and 9 this morning, Most I told a man with the writer's inkhorn, he said, go put a mark on everybody that's in the nation that's crying and signed with the abomination. Then he told the other men that had the weapons, go through the midst of them and do not pity and slay both women and children. This is war. This is what happened at war.
That's it. That's it, man.
You see what I'm saying? And so with that being said, you are trying to, what America is doing, they are trying to tell me who I can stand for and telling me that I'm wrong if I stand on the side of the Palestinians, which is a group that me, myself, as what you want to call me a black person, I can empathize with them more than I can empathize with Israel.
That's it.
They looking like, who are these people that came and stole our land? Now, I had a video clip out that from Jonathan Greenblatt. Greenblatt. That's his name.
Greenblatt. Yeah.
You familiar with him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
CEO of the Affirmation Affirmative
ADL.
Yeah. What is it called?
Anti-Defamation League.
Anti-Defamation. I couldn't think of that first letter. The Anti-Defamation League. Yeah. Let's listen to. He was on the Breakfast Club just yesterday, man. Let's listen to what this brother had to say on this Breakfast Club, man.
When hate goes to the unthinkable, and how can we stop it? And the whole point of the book was when you use this hateful rhetoric, when you demonize people, when you dehumanize them, it creates the conditions in which genocide can happen. And so it's why we got to stop it. Why we speak out against hate when we see it. Anti-Semitism, anti-black racism, Hispanic xenophobia, you speak out against it. Because if you don't speak out against hateful comments, it can, sort of like evolve or can move up the chain from comments to actions to systemic policies to violence to genocide. And when I wrote that 2 years ago, it was certainly based on things like the Holocaust. It was based on things like Rwanda. It was based on what I thought the world had learned. And yet here we are, literally sifting through the rubble and counting the bodies, trying to identify the victims in a way which suggests we haven't learned the lessons at all.
Wow.
Okay. Facts. So this dude wrote a book that was called It Can Happen Here, and that's what he was talking about, right? And one of the first things that he said in that clip, he said that if you don't speak against hateful comments, it can, I'm quoting him, sort of like evolve or can move up the chain from comments to actions to systemic policies to violence to genocide. Where are we at right now as so-called black people? Because no one has ever spoke up against the hate that the America has put upon us.
Right. So no need to speak out about not speaking out against us now. You should have been saying what you just said in the 40s and 50s. Where was this rhetoric then?
Exactly.
Because not saying it then, and it did exactly what you said. It went from thoughts to comments to actions to policies, and
it's right.
It just cycle,
and it just keep going. So this is why. So now we can see the Jew told us why we are at the bottom of the totem pole here in America, because the hatred that the world have towards us, more so America, it was never spoken across. It was never spoke on. Now, the second thing that he said in this series, what really got me, he said, when I wrote that 2 years ago, talking about in his book, he said it was certainly based on things like the Holocaust. It was based on things like Rwanda. It was based on what I thought the world had learned. I found it interesting that he just glazed over the transatlantic slave trade.
Right. Just glossed right on over.
He said Holocaust. He went from the Holocaust to Rwanda. He just glazed over the transatlantic slave trade. So you can say black racism, but you can't call our Holocaust by name, which we have been suffering for the last 400 years. And yet you want us to stand in solidarity with you? These Jews been silent on our issues for years, That's it. And they still silent on them.
That's it.
Like I told my wife, if the Jews was really concerned about us, They could have had us in a better place than what we are with the power that they have. It only take one Jew to stand up and say, hey, we need to do something about the treatment that's being done to black people in America. It only take one Jew. They got the power to do it. But now that your back up is against the wall, you want us to choose on the side of you. What the black people got to say.
How y'all feel about it? What y'all got to say? Oh, y'all mixed emotions? Well, why is that? Oh, y'all shouldn't be mixed emotions. 100% of y'all ain't on our side.
You see what I'm saying?
But what did we just read in Daniel? It said that they did what to us? They accused. Oh, y'all don't want to bow down when the
That's right. That's
They
right.
start pointing the finger. That's what it
That's
all
right.
is. And
That's right.
Watch this upcoming election season. Who gonna be at the forefront? The African American vote. Now they done subtly the last few terms slid in the Latino vote. The Latino vote. Now the Latino vote. Now it's the black and Latino vote. No,
That's exactly.
no
That's
blanco.
exactly.
No possible.
That's right.
It is.
That's right.
Is like, but we are the foundation. And another scripture I was going to bring out. We talk about Edom. It's about them. This is not our fight. Why y'all want us to talk about it now? But there's another word that sticks out that the Most High is just dismantling this system, and it's about Joel 3:4 and the recompense. Now I looked up the definition, and we think it's just money, but listen to this though. Joel 3:4. Yeah, and what are ye to me, O Tyre and Sidon, and all the regions of what? Palestine. Will ye render recompense? So look up the definition of recompense. It says the verb is to make amends to someone for loss or harm suffered, to compensate. The noun is compensation or reward given for loss or harm suffered or effort made. What does the court always do? They convict somebody of a crime, but they have to pay what? Restitution.
That's right.
Come on, man.
That's right.
So the Most High is like, oh, y'all got all this money you want to throw around, but here it is once again. You want to see how my people feel about it? But every time we bring up reparations and recompense, and not even the money, just the apology, or the actual the harm that's been suffered, the suffering, y'all won't even acknowledge it. Most High's like, all right,
that's right.
Okay,
that's right.
I see what's happening. And when I read,
it's like you
article,
said,
that's what came to mind.
It's like you said, man. We'll never thought about it until it comes time for voting, or until it comes time for some type of an agenda to be pushed. You know what I'm saying? Someone said in the social media site, they asked the question, when is anyone in Israel said to pray for the African, you know what I'm saying, at the African Negro? Or our Holocaust has been going on for 400 years. Has Israel ever told USA not to send any money until after it repairs Black Americans? I mean, it's biblical to take care of your own family first. Right. And that's facts. Right. Instead of you saying, hey, take care of what you got over there. Israel don't need nothing from us. You see what I'm saying?
They get billions every day.
Exact one-sided relationship, which really makes it not a ship, because on the ship you're supposed to move, right?
Right.
Just stagnated.
And Sleepy Joe, let me ask you a question. We're going to talk about this in the topic here. Well, I wanted to bring this out also that happened today. So this morning, more news that the hospital in Gaza was hit. So all day, each side has been blaming the other side. Gaza saying Israel did it. Israel saying Hamas and the Palestinians did it.
Right.
Well, Sleepy Joe, he goes over there, and an article from the Insider headlines: Biden says he's giving $100 million in humanitarian aid to Palestinians to ensure no one is living by the rule of terrorists. Now, he announced the $100 million, but here's it, and I sent this to you earlier. He's also giving $100 million to Israel. So you giving to both sides. What is this? 100 million? And here's the caveat. This is what I thought about this, and I just got, Sleepy Joe, you go over there, you give money to both sides.
To both sides.
And Tulsa, the destruction of Tulsa, the first time dynamite has been used on U.S. soil, on American soil. Those survivors, a couple just died, and you denied them.
That's right.
Their compensation from documented U.S. history.
That's right.
434 just stuck out in my mind, and the Most High is, listen, you gave money to both sides of the war, but to the Tulsa survivors, y'all deny them? Tulsa is documented. That's documented U.S. history.
And they denied.
And they denied him, y'all.
He played the Rockefeller card. That's the first thing I thought of too. Same. That's the exactly thing that I thought of when he said. But, and he's so retarded that he put it out He put it out in public. He put it out in public that this is what you know what I'm saying, that they funding both sides, man.
That right there. You ain't gonna look at it. Look at him. He sleep already while he's talking.
I know the people in the white can't wait till this dude get up out of there, man. Somebody just asked him not long ago, "Are you sure you want to run a second chance?" That's what they asked him.
Term.
The second term. A second term. They asked him that.
But here's the caveat, though. With this move right here, sad to say, he probably just won the election.
Right.
He probably just won the election with that move right there.
Right.
That's sad.
Right.
Look at what state we in.
Kamala done won it, because even if he win, I just, and I've never said this a lot about a lot of people, but I just cannot exactly. But I just can't see it. You know what I'm saying? But I just find it interesting, though. You know, back to what we talked about with this article, that you're like, you Jews are for real upset with us. And then another thing too, I really want us to pay attention to. The media is making a dangerous climate out here in the world.
Yes.
Please pay attention to that. They coming out with stories like some landlord got attacked. Was it a landlord or a tenant got attacked just because they were a Jew?
Yeah. And somebody from Hamas stabbed them or something.
Right, exactly. And they report news like the people in Palestine is telling, you know, the Palestinians, even in America, you know, to go head all out, you know, for this thing. What they're doing is they're making it real uncomfortable out here. They are creating, if this was jail, you would be, they are inciting riots. That's exactly what they're doing. They are inciting riots, you know, and so the last point that I want to make is I want to show the power of these Jews. The leader of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, guy that we talking about, Jonathan Greenblatt, he suggested that same companies that leapt at the opportunity to speak out, and listen to how he said this. This is how he said it. That leapt out at the opportunity to speak out following the death of George Floyd and the anti-Asian hate crimes, but they are now reluctant to do so with what's happening with Israel. But look at who this dude gave credit to. You might just put it up there, the Rockefeller card.
Yep.
He give credit to J.P. Morgan, Chase, CEO Jamie Dimon, which is Hewlett Packard Enterprise, CEO Antonio Neri, and other executives who accompanied the terror attacks and pledged solidarity with the people in Israel. All of those are Jews, people.
Yep.
And not only that, JP Morgan has a whole lot to do with the private banking system that's across the world. When you hear people say, follow the money. So he said, we stand with our employees, their families, and the people of Israel during this time of great suffering and the loss. Diamond told employees on Sundays in a memo that he obtained by CNN. So they're going to make these companies put in rules to combat anti-Semitism. And me and my wife was talking about that. I said, that's crazy, because what we as so-called black people been going through for years over here, ain't nobody put in not one type of rule to protect us whatsoever.
Nothing, man.
So now they in war with people whom you actually stole from. And you have done this recent enough that people are alive when you stole the land from them. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
We know what you have done. And now you're supposed to put in some laws to protect them. Again, what was that energy with Trayvon and Sandra and Breon and Freddie Brown? What was that energy at then?
So many. What was that?
But you won't. And this list goes all the way back to the 1800s. I sent you that list. I don't know if you opened it up or not.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
All the way back to the 1800s. So get up off my back. The brother said it at the beginning. This is not our fight.
It's not our fight.
And the sooner we can start realizing that, the better off we will be. Just leave it alone. This is not our fight.
Not our fight.
We ready for the second music break?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead to the second music break.
Hey, yo, man. It's been a long time, you know what I mean? I know. Where you been at, man? You good? Yeah, man, I'm good. Just chilling. I hope you good, man, because you know how life be. People don't respect it like how they should really respect it. You feel me? Yeah, man, I feel you, dog. I feel you, man. You know what? I love you. Real talk, brother. I love you, man. Yeah. I love you like it with my last words. Like a poem with a calm voice. Like a stone stuck in the earth. Like a sword stuck in a stone. Like a fruit grown from a tree. Like a veggie grown in the earth. Like our creator creating the earth. Put the moon and the stars here. Put the sun and the eagles here. And the mountains and the trees here. Put the lakes and the rivers here. Put the cows and the bees here. Even camels used to travel here. Our own people still battle here. Without knowing what's really happening here. Our lungs are filled with contamination. Burning garbage in the air throughout the midnights. Red skies is all that I see. Driving from a distance, it's a huge theme while everybody is still sleeping in their dreams. Is that the only way? I had to ask. I don't have no power. Why should we have to wear a mask? Oh, I see it's temporary gas. Oh, I see it's something you learned from the past. Oh, I see it's something you probably shoot from a plane. I just never knew it rained before it snows. I felt days of blizzards and it was really cold. I felt days where you didn't want to catch a cold. So damn cold, your face needs to thaw out. So damn cold, you just need to sprawl out. Isolating ourselves just to be cleansed. Only the strongest will endure to the end. Yeah. I see what you mean, dog. It's real out there, man. Guard yourself, you feel me? Respect the earth.
I like that.
Yeah.
Smooth, I like that.
Yeah, brother got a lot of good music, man.
Like that.
What we got next? TikTok talk?
All right, let's get to this TikTok talk. We have Jaylen Brown. See what he talking about.
What do you plan to do off and on the floor with this new contract?
Well, that's a great question. I want to launch a project to bring Black Wall Street here to Boston. I want to attack the wealth disparity here. I think there's analytics that supports that, stimulating the wealth gap could actually be something that could be betterment for the entire economy. With the biggest financial deal in NBA history, it makes sense to talk about, one, your investment in community, but two, also, the wealth disparity here that nobody wants to talk about. It's top 5 in the U.S. It's something that we can all improve on. It's unsettling. And I think through my platform, through influential partners, through selected leaders, government officials, a lot who are in this room, that we can come together and create new jobs, new resources, new businesses, new ideas that could, highlight minorities, but also stimulate the economy and the wealth gap at the same time.
What do you?
Come on through, Jaylen Brown.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
I can dig it. We just talked about that. That's what we were talking about, and that's fitting to what the Beyond Critical Race Theory was about. He got endorsements, but he like, you know what? Great question. Let me tell you how this what we're gonna do. And he spoke it eloquent. So
that's right.
Even if they try, once again, the accusers, somebody had to be like, oh, That's racism. No, man. He just said, look, the poor, the poverty-stricken, the downtrodden, I want to create resources to where they have a standing chance.
That's right.
Because I know they got the fight in them. They just need to let the level play. Don't even level the playing field. They smart enough to just get a little bit, and they gonna take off.
Man, take off.
And that's what a lot of people are scared of, man.
Yep.
They know that it's in us that where if we just have a little bit, we're gonna stop. We do it with nothing anyway, let alone have something to start with. So I commend Jaylen Brown. He did have Kyrie's back. The media would not play a lot of his snippets and excerpts when all that was going on. But yeah, he had Kyrie's back when all that was going on. And Ye's back, and he was very poignant in his stance, and he still will tell you, like, nah, like, you can't censor nobody for what they believe in. Nobody do that to y'all. So why should it be done to somebody that is just speaking their voice? Right. So I commend Jaylen Brown, man, forward for the Boston Celtics and that area that he's talking about in Boston. The history.
You're familiar with it.
That was brutal back in the 1800s and early 1900s, and all the way to now.
Right.
Yes, that area is. Yeah. But that's my take on it. Great TikTok talk. That's good stuff, man.
You got something, but not on it.
I can just appreciate an athlete. I can appreciate an athlete who decides he wants to do more with his platform than just advertise for some of these big name brand companies. What are Louis Vuitton, Nike, Reebok, and not that there's anything wrong with that because they're making money, behind advertising for them. But he's talking about what he wants to do with his money. He's talking about bringing wealth to his community. He's standing up for his community. He's speaking out about his community. I haven't seen this on mainstream media anywhere. Thanks. The only place that I've seen this is TikTok. I haven't seen any other news channels, radio stations, podcasts talking about what he wants to do. Normally, when you have people who put stuff out that they want to do, something that they're passionate about, you have a bunch of people get behind them and endorse it and say, hey, we're going to pledge X number of dollars, or we're going to come in and we're going to help do this piece. We're going to help and come in and do this piece. I haven't seen anybody coming in to support him, no other athletes, and they may be doing it behind closed doors, behind the scenes, because what did you say earlier, Sheer? They don't want to lose their endorsements. Right. They don't want to speak up on certain things because they don't want to lose their Nike, Reebok, some of these other endorsements that they have. But I can just appreciate an athlete who makes the money that he makes, who has decided, I'm not going to keep all my wealth to myself. I want to use my wealth for a greater good. So yeah, I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
I know somebody somewhere said, boy, we knew this Negro was going to do that with that money. We wouldn't have gave it to him.
That's right. You right out.
Like, did you just hear what this boy just said?
Yeah.
Did you just hear what he just said? He said Black Wall Street in Boston. Boston is a racist place.
Oh man, the history behind that place.
The history of Boston. That's where Mark, if I'm not mistaken, that's where Mark Wahlberg is from, and his family. And his family got a history.
Yes.
His family got a history. You get to talking about bringing wealth to black, that's a no-no.
No.
That's a no-no, So to land back off of what you said, Ayob, and what Bernard Shalahaya said as well, it's refreshing to see somebody not just speak that,
right,
but to be confident and to be bold enough to speak that in today's time. That's what was more refreshing to me, that he was not afraid and he did not mince any words when he said it.
Nope.
Like you said, brother, he said it so eloquently. So you can't go and take what he said and rewrite the twist what this brother said.
Right.
This is what he said. ESPN, they talked about that. I'm like, but not. ESPN, I ain't heard it on First Take. I ain't heard it nowhere. Nobody said nothing about what this brother is trying to do.
Truth be told, did.
Truth be told, did, exactly.
Come on through with it.
I did not know either, Ayob, that he stood by Kyrie. And when you said that, it was like something clicked in my mind. As big as the league is, I'm more than sure that there was other brothers that stood by him as well. But when we look at who control the media, we'll never know.
You'll never know. They done buried that joint up under the sand so far. You have to dig in the crates, like looking for old vinyls.
Exactly.
Look for old James Brown record to find.
I bet you they gonna think twice before they ask Jalen a question again.
Right.
They gonna be looking at their notes and they gonna be sharing it with each other. You think that's a pretty good question to ask him? No, don't ask him that. You
don't ask him that one.
Yeah, don't ask him that one. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take that one out. You know what I'm saying? Because the last time we did that,
they're gonna say twice out.
That's exactly.
Twice out.
Twice out. Hey, he gonna come to the podium. They gonna be like, "Is there somebody else we can interview?"
Yeah, right. You want to wait in the back? We gonna be in real quick. It ain't gonna take long.
Ain't gonna take long. Let's get that third music break and get to that other topic, man. Yeah.
Time to live life, yeah. I just wanna live right, yeah. In the water like a dolphin, yeah. But I'm surrounded by these sharks, yeah. Feel like we fighting more than often, yeah. Found that light in the dark. In that room, I hit the light switch. Then my life switched. I leveled up a bit. My life purpose has nothing to do with getting rich. We kill ourselves, but y'all don't even see it. And they don't care, cause every man for theyself, man. It's such a shame, man. Time we just waste. I understand if it's not y'all, it's just a waste. So if you let the day stop and think what you doing, there's only 2 seeds, so which one of you? I did my share, had to repent for that. Yeah, I gave my life to y'all, I ain't looking back, yeah. In a dark room, in a dark room, in a dark room, I'ma be a light, yeah. I'ma be a light, yeah. I'ma be a light, 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 light. I'ma be a light, yeah.
I'ma be a light like Abba want me to be. Even in the dark, he still want me to see. Know this real life, it's not no fantasy. We on this beat life, that's the LIV. Even if you see me drowning, never count me out. Blessings in abundance, never seen a drought. 40 days, 40 nights, I had to pray it out. Even with my family, tell them what we about. We your who a flavor, baby, you can never doubt. I kept my head up, never was out. Never for the clout, tryna change somebody's route. Tryna drop a seed so the inside tree sprout. Yeah, hey, baby, that's your who a flavor. But you really told me you ain't seen the label. All up in the scripts, I've been hibernating. And I ain't really sleeping, no one won't play.
In a dark room, in a dark room, in a dark room, I'ma be a light, yeah. I'ma be a light, yeah. I'ma be a light, 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 light. I'ma be a light, yeah. In a dark room, in a dark room, in a dark room, I'ma be a light.
Yeah, my boy Young.
I like that.
Yeah, man. I had the pleasure of finally meeting Young at the Friends of Family Fest. Good humble dude, man. Good humble dude.
He is. I haven't met him, but yeah. Did you interview him as well?
No, I didn't get to interview Young, but hopefully we can get him on the show. I would love to get. I know he do a lot of. I know he's on Dimitri Pruitt's label, Humble Films and Humble Music. So I would love to get them both on the show and sit down with them and chop it up because I know they got a lot of stuff coming up. But
that would be dope. I'm a Dimitri Pruitt fan too, man.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff together, do a lot of videos together, and real good brotherhood out there in California.
I don't think Yam is the brother that I was thinking of. The brother I was thinking of, he's kind of like a neo soul type brother. He played guitar. He had a fro. I'm trying to think. I think that was at the Drip and Sip that I seen him at. And I think he performed. I don't remember his name, but he was a younger brother. He was like real laid back brother. It'll come to me. Sister Deltone, I'm sure she probably know who I'm talking about.
Talking about Obadiah? Obadiah Yahoo? Talking about Obadiah?
Might have been. Play guitar?
Yeah, Obadiah played. Yeah, he played guitar.
You play a guitar? Might be that brother. Like almost kind of like a neo soul type brother.
Yeah. Obadiah. Yeah. I got Obadiah on the Wonderland on the apology letter. That's him.
Okay, then that might be who I'm talking about then. Yeah.
Obadiah can sign.
I start to say something I ain't had no business. I tell you after the show.
Okay.
I tell you.
All right.
Fix it a higher and be offense.
I tell you in the back room.
Backstage.
Wait till we twice out. Wait till we twice out.
We twice out. Backstage conversation.
I'll say, boy, I'm thankful for the reward. Yeah, let's get to that next.
All right. So the issue we're going to discuss, no matter what the law says, is still child abuse. So Victor Vo is a 9-year-old girl from Durham, North Carolina, who identifies as a boy. She's suing the state, claiming the new state law is unconstitutional and wants access to gender-affirming medical care. Joining the minor's lawsuit are her parents, and I did say her parents, a local doctor, several LGBTQ rights groups. And just for the record, as of August of this year, at least 22 states have enacted laws banning or restricting gender affirming care for minors, and most of the bans are being challenged in court right now.
Go ahead.
Everybody got more. Everybody and everything got more rights and power than we do as a collective people. Collectively as a people. Let's go back to what I said early in the show that black has no legal standings.
Yep.
Right. Black, I mean, like you black, but LGBTQ got legal standings. They got legs to stand on. You 9 years old, man. You are 9 years old, and you are suing because they want to put a restriction on you for 10 years at least. Like, so I have a question for you guys. How old do you have to be to drive? Got to be a certain age. 16.
Depending on where you are, 14, 15, 16.
How old do you have to be to vote?
18.
How old do you have to be to drink alcohol in this country?
21.
How old do you have to be to buy cigarettes?
Now it's 21.
So if there's age restrictions on all of these things, how is making a kid wait till he or she is at least 19 years of age to have a transitional surgery? That's the question that I'm asking. This is a 9-year-old kid. What type of parent are you that you will feed into this madness to begin with at 9 years old? It's not the sex that you were assigned to at birth. You are what you are when you were born. If you got Frank and beans, you are a boy. If you got a taco, you are a girl. That's what it is. Right. You see what I'm saying? So this is something that when I read this, man, he said that he's a transgender. He knew from a very age.
How did you know?
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
How did you make that decision to know that you was different from what you was born?
Exactly. How did you know? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, at 9 years old, from a very age that his gender identity did not match to his sex that he was assigned. How did you know that? You still at an early age.
That's it.
You still at an early age.
Still at an early age. Here's what this article, and this is what we always say on Truth Be Told Flex podcast. We always talk about listen to how they write and what they say. Listen to this. It says Victor is a transgender. He knew from a very young age that his gender identity did not match his sex assigned at birth, and he generally lives as the boy he is in every aspect of life. Here's the thing. Here's the caveat. However, with his puberty approaching, Victor would soon need medical care. See how they call it medical care? That is prohibited by the healthcare ban. Medical care? What are you? That ain't medical care.
Thank you.
That is not care. You should care enough that he's a child, and you should tell him, no. If you were born a girl, you were a girl. If you were born a boy, you were a boy. It ain't no getting transgender nothing. You was a child. You can't make that decision. Now go in there and eat that peanut butter jelly sandwich and turn on the cartoons and sit down somewhere and do your homework.
Right.
What is?
And this is how we know. This is how we know it's a gender based art. Because why is this even news?
Right. What? Like, man.
So.
Boy, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I know I've talked to my husband about this before. I talked to Sheer about this before. I know an individual that went through a transition and used to be a female, was now male, and had a very, very candid conversation. Because I don't know. I don't have this issue. This is not, something I personally have dealt with, but I asked this question because I legitimately wanted to know, how old were you when you decided that you needed to or wanted to make this transition? And do you think there should be an age limit? This person said, absolutely, there should be an age limit. I couldn't tell you what was wrong with me when I was 8, 9, 10, 12. Like, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with their decision. That's their personal decision. That's their choice. They got to live with the decision that they made. But at the end of the day, the thing that they said is at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, I had no idea who I was. I could not make a decision like that to say this is what I want, because at 17, I felt one way. At 14, I felt another way.
Right.
They made this decision at 40 years old. 40.
Wow.
They said people should be at least 18 to 21 years of old before they're allowed to even consider making that kind of decision. And at 40, when they made that decision, they went through months and months and months of therapy. Now, what kind of therapy is a 9-year-old girl going to go through? What kind of questions do you ask a 9-year-old girl to determine, yep, she know what she wants. She wants to be a he. Let's have this surgery.
Hey, that's crazy. And that's the point. That's crazy. Like, the parents have got to be bringing, exactly, because at 9 years old, you're a kid.
You're a kid. You should only be worried about color pencils and gummy bears and like
at least 25, you know what I'm saying? At least 25. Some ain't even fully matured at 25.
Facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah. At least 25. And so we got a whole legal proceeding going through. Like, to me, I call this child abuse.
Yeah.
This is what this is, child abuse, man.
I agree. Come on.
Scripture said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. Yep. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Why? Because I grew. At 9 years, if you the same as you were from 9 to 18, something is wrong with you.
Something is wrong.
From 18 to 25, something is wrong with you. From 25 to 40, something is wrong with you. So you just to put this child through trauma. That's what you're doing, because that's
trauma. Surgery is trauma, period.
Surgery is trauma. Like your body shouldn't. Your body not supposed
just
to.
Like the Wade family, they are going to have to pay for what they doing to that boy.
Right. A girl.
It's a girl.
Man, y'all better get out of here.
No. It's a girl. She's a girl. She identifies as a boy.
That's what. Yeah, that's what.
She is a girl.
Yeah, it says that she generally.
No. I was talking about the Wade family. I was talking about the Wayne Wade.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah. I missed that. Okay. Throw it off, man. I was about to turn my camera off.
Okay.
I was about to say good night. Yeah, man.
0 dark 30 on them.
Man, yeah, I'm talking about saying, the Wades, they're going to have to pay for what they doing to that boy. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what I'm talking about, man. And so I just don't get it, man. How you normalizing this?
Right. That's it.
To the point to where this whole generation, you got people like Sexy Red, what we was talking about. Then you back doing it with stuff like this here. This is how I know that the Most High is on his way back, because it cannot continue to go the way it's going, because it's getting to a point to where it is out of control. Like there is no chill with these people.
So
go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I was just gonna. I read something somewhere that said, my husband and I have this conversation all the time about animals, especially dogs. We have 3 dogs, and we talk about how our dogs reason. They can reasonably make a decision. We have one dog that will eat anything. I'm talking. I don't care what you put in front of her. She is going to eat it. She likes to eat rubber band. She will eat anything. You know what she won't touch? Alcohol. She will not. She will not touch alcohol. But a child claiming to be transgender is equivalent to a dog being a vegetarian.
Come on, man.
If your dog is a vegetarian, it's because you made them vegetarian. Dogs are not naturally vegetarians. Come on now.
I want to be vegan and soda today.
I only want lettuce and carrots today.
Man, this stuff is, listen, this is why in all the apocalyptic movies, it be weird and people be weird and stuff, like on, what's that, Hunger Games, with these weird tattoos and makeup. It's like you said, the Most High, come on back, because this, boy, the way they going, boy, next 10, 15 years,
it ain't, we ain't gonna make it.
I'm afeared for the grandchildren I don't have yet.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The way that we going is, and the problem is that these kids for really, they really gonna believe all of this stuff is natural to them. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be normal to them to have 2 mamas in the house or 2 daddies in the house, and you used to be a girl but now you a boy, or you used to be a boy and now you a girl. That stuff is going to be natural to them. When we was coming up, y'all was freaks.
Okay. That was what.
So let me throw a line screw in there real quick. When I was in college, I had one of my basketball teammates got into a horrific car accident, and she had amnesia. I didn't know, because the car accident happened over the summer, so I didn't know she had gotten into a car accident, right? However, when school started, they re-enrolled her in school. She didn't forget school. She didn't forget any of her studies. She was pre-med. She didn't forget any of that. What she did forget is the people she loved. She had to trust that her mom was her mom, her dad was her dad, her sister was her sister. Who she really, really forgot was her boyfriend. They had been dating for 3 years. Wow. She had no clue who he was.
Wow.
No clue. He had to walk away from the relationship because she didn't know him. She was disgusted by him because, like, why is this dude here? Why is he touching on me? Why is he wanting to hold my hand? I'm uncomfortable with this. So I said all that to say, if somebody who decides at 9 years old has a car accident or has some kind of traumatic event happen to them, and they at some point decided they are a different sex than what they were born as, what happens to that person when they don't remember anything else and they wake up and remember or feel like I'm supposed to be a girl? Everything about me mentally says that I'm a girl, but now I got these boy parts.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think people have really thought this thing through in terms of the psychological stuff that is going to happen to them.
Right.
And I know that's one of those far-fetched scenarios, but I'm just saying
that's going to be a lot of people's reality, though.
Exactly.
Like,
because look at the picture of that article. They holding a vial of estrogen and a vial of testosterone. Right. You know, real fuel with testosterone is men. Women have estrogen, and so you taking that what is natural and you are replacing that with something that is not natural. You are chemically imbalanced, man. And it's like she said, you have a brain altering, accident to where you're not thinking your same. You come back and you got these parts that don't belong on you. You like, what's going on?
What happens if the lab can't produce those chemicals anymore? What happens if something goes wrong and the chemicals get altered? You know, the same way they mess up food and have to do a recall.
Right.
How you do a recall on testosterone?
Right.
How you do a recall on estrogen?
Well, you will be short. Shorter than a Chico stick. This morning and you get a phone call, hey, or just want to let you know that we're out of testosterone.
Right. Right.
You be like, wait, I can't.
Right.
We're all out.
Right. That's facts, man. That's crazy, man. The Most High has got to come back soon because, like I say, it's getting to a point where this thing it's getting out of hand, and I mean they have absolutely no breaks whatsoever, no morals, you know, and they mad at the other countries who don't want to get on board with them. I want to read Isaiah chapter 13. Verse 11, 18, right quick. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Most High of hosts, and in that day of his furious anger, it shall be as a chased rope, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee, every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through. Every one that is joined unto him shall fall by the sword. The children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows shall also dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare the children. So back to what we was talking about earlier, when they talking about the children and the women, you hear the Most High what he said he gonna do in the time of war? Gold
or silver will not be able to appease them.
It's not at all.
Blood.
You see what I'm saying? And all of this has to do with stories like this here, because look, every time I hear somebody say that, I feel on the inside that I'm not what my body say that it is. You saying that my creator made a mistake.
Right.
My creator don't make no mistakes.
No.
I'ma say it again. Come on. Every time I ride the seawall in Galveston, I have to go to Galveston to do some work, and I see that ocean. I have to call my wife and I be like, man, the Most High is good. When I see all of that water, man, to as far as your eyes can see, and that water just come up to the coast and then it'll stop and then it'll go back. He don't make no mistakes.
Nope.
I have not seen this sun not one time come up on the west.
Not one time.
Not one time have I seen. He don't make no mistakes.
Come on, man.
We got bearded dragons. I fuss at these kids all the time because they forget to turn the light on and off. Just think if the Most High made a mistake one day and forgot to raise the sun for us. He don't make no mistakes, man.
Not now.
And so you telling me that you are a boy, but you identify as a girl? Nah, that's your problem.
That's right. That's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
Can't blame it on nobody else. Come on.
And you say, and the Most High say, look, yeah, pride that you have, all of that, I'm gonna tear this joke up. I'm gonna tear this joke up.
Tear it up. He gonna tear it out the bone.
He gonna tear it off the bone. Exactly.
It's gonna be gristle.
Off the gristle.
Gonna tear it off the bone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my creator don't make no mistakes. Wow. It's I mean, you know, that's that, man. That was the show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah, man.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Some more topics. What's going on in the world? Y'all made. We got you a shirt coming.
Yeah.
We do. And everybody would just want to say thank you. Y'all got anything closing y'all want to say?
No, I'm good. Great show. Great topics. The Most High is grand. Keep his laws, statutes, commandments close. Keep him Shiach yoked to you. Let the Ruach be God of your life, y'all. And best family, best audience in the world.
Exactly.
Great show.
Thank you guys for letting me join y'all. I appreciate it.
It's been fun. Been real. Been good. Oh, she good.
Exactly. Yeah, with that being said, we will see everybody next week. We got to close out this week. Oh, I do want to say this, sir. It's getting harder and harder for me to find introductory videos. The email is truthbetoldflexpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah. Any truth music videos that you see that you would want to be played, just go ahead and hit me up in there. We'll get them played. If I can't continue to find videos, we're going to have the first 7 minutes of just a straight music, which is not a bad thing, but I do like to give us a little visuals. You know what I'm saying? But it's getting hard to find videos. A lot of people are not making a lot of videos. It's a lot of music, but not a lot of videos.
McCall and Mahalik, y'all heard it. Come on, get on it now. Find some videos now. All right.
Yeah, I would greatly appreciate it. We would greatly appreciate it. Over
and
there.
Ayo and Shahir will owe y'all some shirts.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, hey, there you go. All right. We're going to talk about that in the car. No, I'm just kidding.
Twice out.
Hey, watch how you handle me. Watch how you handle me.
Yeah. Go ahead and take us out of here, Bernard.
Nehemiah line of Judah. Swords of the Spirit. Pam Yasharala.
Ooh, scumbag.
I feel like Nat Turner, this a birth of a nation. We are God's chosen people. That's why all the heathens hate. James chapter 7, it's verse 18. The saints gonna take the kingdom. It's all hell a king. I feel like Nat Turner, this a birth of a nation. We are God's chosen people. That's why all the heathens hate. James chapter 7, it's verse 18. The saints gonna take the kingdom. It's all hell a king. It's time to put your trust in the Lord. We ain't got time to waste. They trying to take us out of the spirit, putting demons in our face. The adversary plotting and planning while they laying in they bed. Be cautious when approaching the prophets. We know what's in your head. Spirits we discerning off top. Ain't got to hear you talk. It sets a laughter. Look at your gate. I can tell by the way you walk. Your humbleness will give you away. If you was a child of God, your spirit will be
use a heritage. If you ain't about obedience to Yah, then use a heritage. I tried to give him a second admonition, but he wasn't listening. It's hard to help somebody like that when you get belligerent. And she gon' hear his voice when he yelling, or if he whispering. The Israelite, no real wisdom, growing straight out of discipline. It's hard to build a unified nation in the land we living in. The Most High raised up all his prophets, ain't talking dividends. I feel like Nat Turner, this the birth of a nation. We are Yah's chosen people, this for all the heathens hate. Daniel chapter 7, in verse 18. The saints gon' take the kingdom, all hell is king. I feel like Nat Turner, this the birth of a nation. We are Yah's chosen people, that's for all the heathens hate. Daniel chapter 7, in verse 18. The saints gon' take the kingdom, so all hell is king.
Oh, yeah.